Hello, welcome to the Self-Learning Podcast by Dr. Sushma Singh. Let us start discussion on Unit 21, Civil Society and Democracy. Civil society as a promoter of democracy is our topic. In an article, Civil Society and Democracy in Global Governance, Dr. Jan Art Scollett makes a comprehensive analysis of the concepts. She not only visualizes positive aspects of the relationship between civil society and democracy, but also evaluates the enthusiastic side of it too. Taking a positive note of the civil society as promoter of democratic form of governance, Scollett identifies 6 areas where civil society could advance democracy. First, the public education. Awareness is key to any democratic system. The civil society might enhance democracy through educating the public. An informed citizenry could sustain effective democracy. Civic associations can contribute a lot by raising public awareness and understanding of worldwide existing laws and regulatory institutions. To accomplish this goal, civil society groups can prepare handbooks and information kits, produce audio-visual presentations, organize workshops, circulate newsletters, supply information to and attract the attention of the mass media, maintain websites on the internet, and develop curricular materials for schools and institutions of higher education. The second one is voice of stakeholders. Civil society could promote democratic governance by giving voice to stakeholders. Civic associations can opportune the concerned parties to rely information, testimonial, and analysis to governance agencies about their needs and demands. Civil society organizations can give voice to neglected social circles like the poor, women, and persons with disability who tend to get a limited hearing through other channels, including their elected representatives in executive and legislative bodies. In this way, civic activism could empower stakeholders and mold politics towards greater participatory democracy. The third one is policy inputs. Government policy formulation is considerably influenced from the inputs given by the civil society not only at home but also in international arena. For example, civic groups have been pioneer in sparking debate about the so-called Washington Consensus. They have also constantly raised issues pertaining to ecological imbalances, made qualitative assessments of poverty, and pressurized for the schemes of debt reduction in the South. The fourth one is transparency of governance. Vigilant civic mobilization can cause public transparency in governance. Constant pressure from civic society can help in bringing regulatory frameworks and operations into the open, where they could be accessed for public scrutiny. Generally, citizens do not have the awareness about what decisions are taken by the government, by whom, from what options, on what grounds, with what expected results, and with what resources to support implementation. Civic groups, through their well-lit networks, can question the currently popular official rhetoric of transparency by asking critical questions about what is made transparent, at what time, in what forms, through what channels, on whose decision, for what purpose, and in whose interest. The fifth one is public accountability. Civil society can hold various concerned agencies accountable to public. Civic groups can keep an eye on the implementation and effects of policy regarding people and press for corrective measures when the consequences are adverse. For example, independent civic agencies have impartial policy evaluation mechanisms for the World Bank and the IMF, whereby they have more often criticized their policies toward the less developed countries. The Western countries, which claim to be democratic in the behavior, often while as a part of global player, sometimes become far more dictatorial than those whom they criticize and put sanctions against them. Here, the civic agencies, through an accountability function, can push authorities in global governance to take greater responsibility for their actions and policies. And the next is legitimacy. The sum total of the preceding actions by the civil society could lead to a legitimate democratic rule. Legitimate rule prevails when people concede that an authoritative has a right to govern and that they have a duty to obey its directives. As a result of such consent, legitimate governance tends to be a more easily, productively, and non-violently executed than illegitimate and dictatorial authority. Here, it is important to understand that democracy should not be understood only in terms of national governance. The civil society should have a larger agenda of democracy as a policy of global governance. The civil society not only could promote democracy at home, their impact could be clearly seen in the democratization of global order. Civil society can offer a means for citizens to affirm that global governance arrangements should guide and where necessary constrain their behavior. Apart from this, the international concerns for human rights, women's rights, rights of the disabled, and concerns for environment have great impact on the democratic policy formulation and its implementation too. For example, various development related NGOs and think tanks who lobby for global debt relief and socially sustainable structural adjustment have gone on to scrutinize public finances in national and local governments. In addition to this, women's movement have often used international laws and institutions in their favor to democratize the state on gender lines. The rights of the persons with disability also get impetus from the international concerns for human rights. Now let us wind up the session and take rest. Thank you very much for engaging yourself with the Self Learning podcast.